This is the Build Zone podcast. Welcome to episode 143. Ooh, we love you of the Build Zone podcast. My name is Allison Jackson, joined by my co-host Mike Maloney. Mike, what's going on? What's happening? What's new?
Well, we are pushing our way towards episode 150, which is a crazy mile marker to hit, which is fantastic. We appreciate everyone's support from listening and watching and bearing with us as we push our way to 150.
It's almost
This
2 years
week,
of podcasts, if you think about it. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary.
no, it's actually going to be 3 years.
What?
21 we started. October 21 we started this trip. Yep.
Whoa.
3 years.
What year
Yep.
is it?
So 50 episodes a year. We're at 150. Yep. Yep. Pushing our way to 200.
Whoa.
Crazy, right? Been a long, crazy journey. We are very proud to have back with us Bald Hill Builders as our lightning round sponsor, and as our presenting sponsor, we have Energy Electrical Contractors, and you can visit their website at energyelectricne.com. And like we usually do, we like to visit their website. And one of the things I clicked on today was, why would someone choose Energy Electrical Contractors? If you're in search of seasoned commercial, industrial, or municipal electrical contractors serving Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, and Maine, your quest concludes with Energy Electrical Contractors. They deliver electrical design build services executed by skilled construction professionals, ensuring satisfaction for their valued customers. They have 24/7 emergency services, free estimates, competitive pricing, licensed and insured experts, fast and reliable response times. So if you're listening and you need any sort of electrical help, reach out to the folks at Energy Electrical Contractors. And our lightning round sponsor this week is Bald Hill Builders. Same thing, we'll go right to their website, baldhillbuilders.com. Uh, we like to navigate the website. We clicked on About Us, and we're going to meet the team here. This week, we'll talk about Matthew Grosshandler. He is the Vice President of Operations at Bald Hill Builders. He brings with him over 25 years of experience and principal level oversight to all projects. His impressive career spans diverse sectors, including affordable housing, multifamily housing, commercial developments, hospitality, healthcare, and institutional construction. He has a hands-on builds approach. He leads construction efforts, manages construction operations, and nurtures client relationships. We're proud to call him a friend of the podcast. And for everyone at Bald Hill Builders, thanks again for being so awesome and supporting us.
Thank
Um,
you.
this week in the news, I don't have anything, so I'm going to edit this out real quick. I forgot to have something. What do you want to talk about? I'll edit this out.
Yeah, obviously, that's fine. Let me think. What's
What's going on?
happening?
All
Fall.
the
We can talk about the crisp
fall?
air. How are you
Okay.
ringing in the fall? And
Right.
I can talk about all the things I've made. Perfect.
All right.
Go.
1, 2, 3. We look at the calendar. It is the end of September, which means it is time for the fall and all the great and amazing fun fall activities. Allison, what is your go-to fall activity?
Oh my gosh. Where do I start? How long do
Right?
we have?
Yeah, we have
Um,
long. We have long.
I mean, play the music like the Oscars when you want me to stop. But obviously we love apple picking, we love pumpkin picking, we love all that stuff, right? But like I have with the like little bit of chill air in New England that has started to come in, I am in like my soup era again. So I made a delicious chicken noodle soup the other night, but I also made a fresh bread for the first time, and it came out unbelievable. I'm so proud of myself. I'll send Mike a picture so that he can post it, put it up on the
Yeah.
YouTube, hopefully. But it came out absolutely perfect. It was a no knead bread recipe. So like I just had to mix it up and let it rise and then throw it in the oven, and it was done in 40 minutes. It was less than 2 hours of work, and it is delicious. You can use it as sandwich bread. You can use it, just put butter on it. Tastes really good dipped in my homemade soup.
Wow.
Um, I know. But yeah, no, I don't know if
Have
you
some
know that
soup
about me. I
perks.
love to make a good soup.
Love it. All right. So that we
Oh
need to
yeah,
give
what
it. You
about
should give
you?
us, fall stuff. Cider donuts is good. A little raking of the leaves and getting the yard ready for the winter, and
Oh,
scarecrows, and Halloween
I
right
wouldn't
around the
say like
corner.
I look forward to raking the leaves. I also don't rake the leaves. I don't rake the
Yeah,
leaves.
no,
I don't shovel the snow.
yeah, I'm not a big leaf raking guy. I just know that some people out there raking as soon as the first leaf hits the ground, right? And then you got to go back, right? A lot of trees in my yard, so a lot of raking to do. Usually I just wait till the very end and then rake or blow or whatever. But I'm
Know what
okay with
I've
it.
heard is that the leaves, sorry to interrupt you,
Yep,
but the leaves, if you leave them, no pun intended, on the ground, it's supposed to actually like put like nutrients into
it
the
does.
soil.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, it drives some people crazy because they can't stand the leaves in the yard, and it does get it's tough to mow the lawn covered in leaves. But I don't mind the fall, but that just means winter's coming, right? That means cold and snow here in New England. But I'm looking forward to getting through the fall here and getting into the spring. That being said, for upcoming trainings, what do you got for us?
So coming up in October, we have a scaffold user training. So if you are ever on a job site where you're using scaffolding, you're kind of, up a little higher than the ground and you want to make sure that you're safe, this is a really great class to get into. It's going to be October 8th from 5 to 9 at our GCI Woburn office. Then we have a refrigeration tech prep for exam. So HVAC, refrigeration, if you're in that realm of the trades, definitely get into this class. Even if you're not going to be taking your test for another year or two, it's a really great way to like check in on what you really need to be focusing on when you are during like going through your program so that you can pinpoint kind of those important topics, keep them in the back of your mind. And then also, if you do have your test coming up, this is a really great one to get into because you get all of those resources that you need so that you can study on your own as well. You get the teacher in person so you can ask any questions that may have been looming over your head during your program. Definitely a really great one to get into. And then December 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we have an OSHA 30 hour for construction. Those sessions are going to be from 8 to 4 p.m. each day, all adding up to 30 hours. Um, Again, a really, really great certification to get. I have my OSHA 30. It was a little bit of work, they're long hours, but I learned a lot. And then you only have to take it once as long as you keep your card in your wallet and don't lose it. So you can check out all of these classes and the rest of what we have going on through December 2024 at gwgci.org/events.
And I will tell you, if you're listening and you're a sheet metal prep sheet metal student or a pipe fitting student, and you're year 4 and you're maybe close to taking your exam, you could take a prep class before you get your test date because test date may be in January or might be in September, and the class for the prep is in December. So it's okay to take it now
Mhm.
while you're fresh in your mind, get that information in your head, and then don't wait till the last minute to do the prep because we don't have them very often. We have them a couple times a year. So
Yeah,
if anybody out
definitely.
there,
We
you know,
we have a
if
sheet
you,
metal and a pipe fitter prep both coming up on December 7th.
you know,
So
I've got some emails from people that like, well, my test is in just September, October. Well, you're not going to make it, right? Should have made the last one. So don't wait till the last minute. Book now, plan now. Now comes second favorite part of the podcast is going to be the news. Lots going in the news this week, and it was open and it's not open anymore. All right. So this week in the news, brought to you by Energy Electrical Contractors, Patriot Benefit Services, Metro Walls, and Veterans Development Corporation. For those that don't know, October is Careers in Construction Month, with an estimated 500,000 more workers needed in 2024 alone to meet labor demand for careers that offer family-sustaining wages without a college debt. There's no better time to mark Careers in Construction Month. There's a sample letter to the editor that includes helpful information on why construction is a great career option for so many people of diverse backgrounds in the ABC newsletter that went early this week. If you have any veterans working for your company and they would like to be part of the veterans group or veterans committee, we do have some open seats on the committee. We'd love to invite ABC member companies to um, maybe talk to their veteran employees and let them know that they are looking for some help on the committee. Upcoming trainings for ABC Massachusetts include a business development workshop called the Business Case for Project Diversity, Thursday, October 10th from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Presenter will be Nia Brooks from Head of Sales from Tough Leaf. You can register same thing on the link. We talked about the past couple of weeks, but the Joe Kinney fundraiser taking place over at Oktoberfest at Bear Moose Brewing in Everett is a phenomenal event. If you've never been to an event or don't make it to another single event, please put October 17th from 4:30 to 7:30 over at Bear Moose Brewing in Everett. It's a fantastic time. The Kinney family is absolutely amazing. Once you meet them and come to a event, you'll know exactly how awesome they are. Still looking for some donations for the the new school we built up in Billerica, Massachusetts. You can click on the link there, make a donation. We have lots of available courses online and ready for people to take. Some member updates. The Noah Fernandez Mitochondrial Awareness Day was Friday, September 20th. It was the first ever Noah Fernandez Mitochondrial Awareness Day in Massachusetts, a day dedicated to raising awareness of mitochondrial diseases and honoring Noah Fernandez in his remarkable journey. You can read more about it in the newsletter. W.T. Kenny raises funds in honor of Kevin Jergens' life and legacy. We encourage the members to join with W.T. Kenny in support for an important cause. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of Kevin Jergens' life and legacy. It's about 1,000 supporters W.T. Kenny is to join them in honoring by donating $41 each to help them reach the $41,000 goal for Team 41. And let's see here. R.H. White topping off ceremony for Amherst Centennial Water Treatment Plant. Congratulations to R.H. White on that. And as always, if you want to be on the podcast, you can reach out to me, Mike, at gwgci.org. This week on the podcast is going to be a good one. We've got Haley Moyers, Director of Workforce Programs and Initiatives from ABC National. This was a big one for me. I've been trying to get Haley on for a long time. It's a great episode. She was an amazing guest. She said at the end she'd love to come back on again, which makes me feel better when someone says that. Let's hear it from Haley Moyers. Please, everyone who's listening, remember to like, tag, share, and follow, and we'll see you next week. Welcome to the podcast. Someone I've been trying to get on for a long time. I finally captured her and got her on. It's like 3 weeks in a row. People have harassed enough to come on the podcast. We have Haley Moyers on ABC National. She is the Director of Workforce Programs and Initiatives. Haley, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here, and what a perfect month for me to join. So I'm excited.
And this is exciting because one of the reasons we picked this date to be on is I know how passionate you are about the mental health, mental health issues that people have. So I know that you want to talk about that. But for those people that don't know who you are and what you do for ABC National, go ahead and tell us about yourself and the great things that you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you. So yeah, I've been with Associated Builders and Contractors in DC now for almost 11 years. It'll be 11 years in November. And I started ABC as a meetings coordinator. I went to George Mason University actually to study tourism and events management. So my background was really in events when I first came to ABC. And I've just kind of slowly worked my way over to the workforce development department. I am very fortunate. I have incredible leadership here, one of which being the great Greg Sizemore, who we absolutely adore. He's our Vice President of Health, Safety, Environment, and Workforce Development. He always likes to joke around that his title wraps around a business card, which it truly does. And, when Greg came in, I had just started working in the workforce development department, and he was like, where do you want to be in 5 years? And I was like, I love ABC and I would love to continue to grow and be a director. And, over about 2 years ago, I finally did become Director of Workforce Programs. And back in 2019, prior to COVID, we definitely started seeing some of the statistics around mental health and suicide, specifically in the construction industry. And when I started to hear about some of it, I just was in complete shock. And so I kind of, expressed to Greg, hey, if you ever need support in any of those programs, I'd be happy to support you. Fast forward to after COVID, this has kind of become part of my full-time job. I now help manage our mental health champion peer group, And then I also am an instructor for VitalCog, Suicide Prevention in Construction Industry, which is out of the University of Colorado Johnson Depression Center. So it's really kind of crazy where I'm at now. If you had told me 10 years ago that this is what I'd be doing, I'd probably think you're crazy, but I absolutely love it. I've always kind of been a very caring person, not cut out to be a nurse or a doctor. And so this kind of is another best option. So I'm really excited to be here today to talk about some things.
Now, why do you think that it really hit home with you? Why do you think the suicide prevention was so important to you?
Ooh, this is gonna be hard. So I'll be honest, my uncle was a contractor his entire, career. And he was an incredible artist, a beautiful artist. And he was a residential contractor, did a lot of like home renovations with his son. And about, almost 7 years ago now, he had an aorta aneurysm in his heart. Woke up, stood up, felt like his back was broken. So they rushed him to the hospital and he went into surgery for about 12 hours where his body temperature was taken down to about 52 degrees. And unfortunately, when he came out of that surgery, my uncle was paralyzed from the waist down. And I watched somebody that had a very valuable career and amazing life really take a full turn and go down for the worse, which was extremely hard on the whole family. It was hard to watch, but he really just lost his entire sense of purpose to life. And it was really challenging to watch. And he became actively suicidal in the last couple of years of his life, you know, every day just expressing that he wanted to die. He didn't want to be here. And when I heard about his story and I watched that unfold and how it, you know, affected our entire family. And then also I had somebody very close to me come and tell me that they were also thinking about suicide. And I knew if that person was also struggling and what I had seen happen to my uncle, I just knew this was a bigger issue. And it just was in my heart to kind of dive in. It's not an easy subject to talk about. A lot of times I do get nervous because I never want to say the wrong thing, but I have taken away from it that if I can change one person's view on what's going on specifically in the construction industry, not just in our society alone, then I feel like I've made a change and I've done my part. And so that's really kind of what made me kind of get passionate about this. I saw people struggling that I would have never thought would be struggling. And it just woke me up and motivated me to help do something about it.
And you can hear your passion, how passionate you are about it when you're telling the story. And I don't mean to get you upset, but that's an amazing story. What is the training like? The Vital Cog training, what was that training like for you?
So Vital Cog is an incredible program. If you haven't heard of it before, it was developed by Dr. Sally Spencer Thomas, who is part of United Suicide Survivors. And she worked with the University of Colorado to develop the Vital Cog suicide prevention in construction. They also have it for suicide in the workplace. But we loved that the construction one was so specific and could relate to our ABC members. And so the way it works is I watched actually a YouTube video on what I would be learning to be an instructor for. And they say, like, watch this video. If you think it's something you can do, go for it. So we, ABC back in 2022 had a strategic goal of identifying a mental health champion at each of our 67 chapters. And then we also said ABC National would become mental health champions. So myself and Joe Xavier and Aaron Braun also went through the Vital Cog Train the Trainer. And so that was virtual. It is a day-long training from about 9 a.m. to 5:30. And in that, Sally is teaching us how to become an instructor on this topic. And after you walk out of that training, you are equipped to provide a 1 hour or 2 hour Vital Cog suicide prevention in construction training for ABC members, for chapter staff, really for anybody that's looking for it. So I went through, became an instructor, and now I, on a regular basis, provide those trainings to either ABC members, or I've even done them here for ABC National, which has been really incredible.
And then I'm not sure if you have it at your fingertips. I'm sure you do, though. But some statistics around suicides, in the construction industry. Do you have some of those numbers? And why do you think those numbers are so high?
So first, I will talk a little bit about the statistics. In 2021, the CDC reported that there were 56 suicides per 100,000 people. In that same year, there was 9.5 per 100,000 people deaths on a job site from like fatalities or falls or other injuries. So that's a rate for suicide 6 times higher. Those numbers are staggering. And women also die at a significantly higher rate than all other industries, with 10.4 per 100,000 women dying by suicide in the construction industry. So those numbers alone, they are just, it's almost hard to take in, but it also just is like, this is real. This is happening. So a lot of things go into why, people are at higher risk in the construction industry. But first one that we probably hear about the most is it's a very male dominated field, and more men die by suicide than women, especially in the construction industry. It really goes into who shows up to work in the industry. So it is a male dominated industry, but then also it's very much that tough guy mentality. We're not going to open up about our feelings. You hear a lot of times, suck it up, buttercup. And what's really hard to accept is you go to work 5 days out of your 7-day week. And how are you expected to leave your personal issues, whether it be a divorce you're going through or you've lost a loved one? You're just supposed to leave that at the door from 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and act like you're Superman. And really, the reality is that is not possible for everybody. There are some people that are able to do that and they deal with it in their own way on their off time, but I just don't think that's realistic. And I think what is better is we're seeing more of this shift into companies having a caring culture. It's okay to not be okay. And sharing stories about what people have struggled with is really one of the best things that we can do. So it definitely has to do with the culture. It has to do, we're lucky that the construction industry is a second chance industry, where if you've struggled in the past with alcohol or substance use, that's okay. You can come and grow and, learn from your mistakes. But sometimes now they're under a high pressure situation and their way of coping is substance use. And so that, as well as culture, the, lack of sleep, the instability of the construction industry, and then also substance use. All of these lead to why the construction industry is at a high risk, for sure.
The numbers are staggering, right? I can't even think about the 6 times higher. As far as, some advice maybe you would give, would it be an ABC member, maybe some ABC members, a company that you would give some advice to, how can they start the process of becoming a mental health champion?
Definitely. So, ABC offers a lot of great opportunities. We received funding from the Trimmer Construction Education Fund to send a chapter staff or an ABC member through the Vital Cog Train the Trainer program. And so what we've encouraged is all the chapters to send somebody through. Some of our chapters have a lot smaller staff, so they have identified a member to go through. And so they go through, they become an instructor. And what we ask is that you just provide the training as it feels natural to you. A really incredible use of the program that I've seen is through Shannon Harbor at ABC San Diego. She had all of her first year apprentices go through the Vital Cog program last year, in their first couple weeks of school. And she educated, I think, over 500 people within that month. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yes, it was incredible. So she is really out there being a mental health champion. It's been hard though for some of the chapters. Some chapters, have reached out to their members and said, we have this available. Do you want to hold this education? And there just still are some chapters that maybe are not fully there yet, or their members are not fully there yet. And it's really just finding the right environment to put the education into. So it worked really well for Shandon to put it in her apprenticeship program. What I've also done is traveled to some of our ABC member firms and just provided it for even 4 people. Doesn't matter how small the class is. I always say, if one person gets the education, I've done my job and I'm happy with that. Yeah. So the Vital Cog is one option. Another thing that we've added in, which has been absolutely amazing, is the mental health first aider certification. So that's actually a 3-year certification that somebody can go through. So it's kind of like CPR, but for the brain. And what it equips you is to help someone that you may see is in crisis or in need. You're actually able to step in and assist that person through their crisis, which is really amazing. You also receive naloxone training, so you're certified to carry that. And it really has been just an added benefit. To be qualified as a mental health champion via ABC, we have them go definitely through VitalCog. And then the mental health first aider is just an add-on as another resource to help our mental health champions. But one of the best things that has really come out of all of this is we started hosting a mental health champion monthly call for all of our peers that are mental health champions. And this is their time. It is a safe space for them to share best practices, ask questions, also just kind of like unload on what they've experienced in the trainings. There's a lot of times where we're hosting these trainings and somebody raises their hand and they're like, I had somebody last week come to me, they were suicidal, I had no idea what to do. And that's hard. That's hard to take in because you want to respond correctly. But what we want to do in our calls is make sure that all of our mental health champions are feeling safe. They're feeling equipped and empowered to help in that situation. And then they're also, motivated to continue to learn more and see what we can do to continue to change these conversations.
Changing gears real quick. I know we talked at the very beginning, one of the many hats you wear is all the work that you do for the construction management competition. I've seen you personally down there running around. I mean, you just get stuff done down there. I've watched you in action down there coordinating all this. Can you real quick just talk about that competition? And because I know stuff's coming up and people need to start getting into it. I'm still trying to get my guys into it, but
for sure.
It's tough.
Yeah, I know it's hard. And, it is a big financial commitment as well. So the construction management competition is absolutely amazing. So we have our network of college and university students who are studying in construction management or construction related degree programs. And they join via their school to be part of the ABC National Student Chapter Network. So they're supported by their local ABC chapter, and it gives them the opportunity to see career advancements, find out what ABC does before they graduate, and really help develop their network while they're still in school. One of the best value adds is that construction management competition, which is so cool. The way it works is a school will, register to compete, and they have to have 4 competitors and a faculty advisor to support them. And what they are doing is they are pretending to be a contractor who's going to be bidding on an owner's project. So the competition is actually one of the longest competitions for construction management students. It's about 8 to 9 weeks. So prior to our annual ABC convention, which is our largest member event, they receive a request for proposal from the owner. And then they work on that first part of the request for proposal, which is referred to as step 1. So in step 1, they are developing their schedule, they're putting together their estimate, and they're, figuring out all their quality and safety components to build the request for proposal. Then they come to ABC convention. A lot of times teams will bring alternates, which is their younger classmen, so they can also see the competition. And they come to convention, and on the first day of the competition, we release step 2, which is always a random exercise. So one year it was briefly after COVID, and we went around to each team and said, "Oh, you have COVID, you have COVID." And that was, they were like, "What do you mean?" We're like, "You have to stop working for 30 minutes, come out into the hallway." And their heads were spinning. But what we're trying to do is put them in a real life scenario. And this was something our member who actually owns the project faced on that project. They had people get COVID. They were out. So it's always a random exercise, and it is very fun to see them adjust to it. And then one of our partners, JLG, has a component in step 2 where the students will go down to the exhibit hall floor, and they actually do a safety inspection on a piece of equipment down there. So they have to work on that as well. And then that whole day, we have ABC members who have volunteered as judges who are judging step 1 and then step 2 as they come in. And then that first day of competition in the evening, we shortlist about 9 to 10 teams to move forward to step 3. And step 3 is amazing, but also very nerve-wracking. It's honestly hard for me to watch sometimes because I grow so close to these students and I only want them to succeed, but I know that I'd be super nervous in that position. But step 3 is interviews. So they are in front of everybody attending the competition, and they have about 25 minutes total for that presentation. So they get 5 minutes to set up, they get 10 minutes to present, and then they receive about 10 to 12 minutes of question and answer from the panel of judges. And I will be honest, it is brutal. The questions are not easy. They never really ask the same question twice, which is impressive to me. And they are doing that on purpose because this is something the students are going to be faced with. They haven't had that practice maybe in school, but also they want to know who knows the project. They want to know what teams spent the full 8 weeks finding the little Easter eggs that we have in the request for proposal. And that's where we know you read it line by line. And so anytime a new team competes, I always say, come prepared that you're going to make it to step 3. You don't want to spend the whole night before trying to put together a presentation, but it's such an incredible competition. At the end, they are recognized at the Careers in Construction Award ceremony, where we award first, second, and third for estimating, project management, quality control, safety, and then overall. And this whole competition is powered by DeWalt, who is our sponsor for the network and this competition. They are an incredible partner. They want to be in front of the students. They want to let students know, hey, maybe you've studied in this degree program and you want to be in construction, but a different way.
Right.
They show a different side of the industry, which is really incredible. So it is so fun. It is a lot of work. I do probably run around with my head cut off on site, but it's so worth it in the end. And to see all of them so excited when they're walking across the stage and winning their awards, and it doesn't hurt that it's a little bit of cash too. So
how long does it take you to recover after that event?
It takes my feet about 2 months, I think.
He says 2 months.
Oh my God.
Because this is Haley. There's Haley. There's Haley again. There's Haley again. All right. Good to see you. Yeah, you're busy. And then on top of things, like, I mean, if you've ever been to the national competition, I've only been to a couple, but it really is an amazing event. It's so well organized, so well put together. I know some of the schools that send teams are schools like Clemson, Auburn, Alabama, University of Central Florida. These are big schools. This is not. I know. I became friends with the guys from Michigan State a couple of years ago, and I picked their brain.
Awesome.
And I've had them on the podcast. And then you're bumping them at the pool, and then you're having some drinks with them at the pool, right? And then you kind of forget these are college kids, right? And wow, this is crazy. And I was really bummed that they didn't make it. I think they made top 10 2 years ago. This past year they made top 10, but just a nice group of people. Just a nice group of. They actually came on the podcast and talked to my student chapter to try to get them ramped up. But
that's awesome.
It was great. I mean, their faculty advisor was great. The students were great. They tried to get them pumped up. My school student chapter is a 2-year program, so it's a little harder to get that 2-year program people to get into it. Haley, it's been great talking to you. If anybody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
Oh my goodness. So you can definitely email me. My email is Moyers. So it's MOYERS @abc.org. Not .com. I had a lot of people trying to reach me lately, and I was like, it's .org. It's .org.
Yep.
So
and
yes.
And everyone at ABC National has been wonderful, very approachable, answer emails. They're on LinkedIn. Every time Haley sees me, she's running away from me. She's like, oh, here comes this podcast guy again. Get away from me. But I've got Christy on. I had Patrick Scarpati on. I'm going to have Tim Monjo on. I got you on. I'm making my way. I do have Greg Sizemore's information.
Okay.
I did see him at the bar in Florida, and he said he would come on, but I got to make sure my stuff's together. Make sure I'm T's across, and I gotta make sure I can't be just
You
hoping.
may also need more time, to be honest, but that's a good thing.
Hey, we can make it. We can make it an hour long. Yeah, we can make it. If he wants to come on, we can do it however long he wants. But and then Mike Bellman said he would come on too. So
They are both truly incredible leaders. I work extremely closely with Greg Sizemore, and I'm not being funny when I say this. I would not be where I am without him. He has been such an incredible mentor in the industry. And one of the hardest things was for me to adjust to was, yet for a while I felt like, oh yeah, I kind of work in the construction industry. He goes,
yeah,
no, you're a woman in the construction industry.
yes, yep.
And I was like, you know what? You're right. And I feel like now I've finally taken that on and I've gained that confidence. But I'm not kidding when I say, like, I truly wouldn't be here without him. He's such an incredible mentor. He's so supportive, and he's just an incredible boss to have, truly.
That's amazing. All right, now comes my personal favorite part of the podcast is the lightning round. Haley's a little nervous right now, so we're going to ask her, but let's see if we can.
Oh boy. Okay.
See what we can do here. All right, first question we ask is: the zombie apocalypse is coming. Who are 3 people you want to fight on your team? Could be anybody, dead or alive, fictional, make believe, real life, doesn't matter. Anybody you want.
Fight on my team. Oh my gosh, that's hard. Okay, definitely my dad. My dad's incredible. I would also probably say my sister, because she is a boss.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I probably would pick Greg. I honestly would.
All right.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Let's see. What is your most used emoji?
Oh gosh, the hearts. 100%.
hearts.
The
Oh,
hearts.
wow.
Yeah.
All right.
We always laugh at my mom because she throws in like 100 hearts, but definitely the hearts.
No one's ever said hearts. People usually say the laughing emoji, crying laughing emoji.
My other one would probably be this one.
Oh, yep.
The hand in the face,
All right. Who is your childhood actor or actress crush?
That's
always
amazing.
a good one. It's a good one.
Everybody in Hanson, all 3 boys in Hanson. The musical group.
No one's ever said the Hanson boys. Good to know. So we'll have to play. If I can find Mbop, we'll do Mbop over this. When we release
was frequently repeated in my household. Let me just to the point where my brother threw the CD out of the car one time.
Oh my God. That's a great one. If you had your very own late night talk show, who would you invite as your first guest?
Oh my gosh. That's really hard. I would invite, could it be dead or alive?
Dead or alive, doesn't matter.
I'd invite my grandma. My grandma was my hero, and I would give anything to have conversations that I didn't get to have with her.
That's amazing. If there was a movie made of your life, what would the genre be and who would play you?
Oh, it would definitely be like a rom-com, 100%. It would be a rom-com. And I mean, I would love if Charlize Theron played me.
All right.
I've been told before that I kind of resemble her, which is just a huge compliment, but I think it'd be cool if she played me because she is also a boss.
Awesome. Well, I think it's a great answer. Fantastic answer. If you have to sing karaoke, what song do you pick?
Oh gosh. You do not want me to sing. It's better that I sing in my shower, but I really like Tina Turner the best.
Oh, all right.
That gets me going.
All right.
If you can lip sync it really well.
That's fine. No one's gonna know the difference in the karaoke bar. We will just play the music really loud and you lip sync. That's fine.
True.
If you had to eat one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza.
Oh, that's the second time someone said that. I had to have pizza yesterday for lunch. All right. Best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Oh gosh, that's really hard. Best piece of advice I've ever been given. Wow, you stumped me on that one. I would say, tomorrow's not promised. That's probably the best piece of advice I've been given. So, live every day the best you can.
What did you eat for breakfast this morning?
I don't eat breakfast. I intermittent fast.
Oh,
so coffee,
that's okay. That's okay.
I'm a faster, so I eat at noon.
Okay.
But I was in back-to-back today, so I still haven't eaten.
If you had a time machine, would you go back in time or into the future?
Oh, I definitely would go back in time.
And then
I think it's exciting to look. I think it's exciting to look forward to the future, but there's not that I would say I'd change anything. I've learned a lot, but if I could go back and really spend the time with my grandma and my grandpa, those are two people that really helped shape my life. And
great.
there's just questions that I don't know that I'd love to ask them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we always ask this question: if there's a food fight at the Moyers house tonight, what's your weapon of choice? And you cannot say mashed potatoes.
Oh, food fight?
Food
Ooh,
fight at the Moyers house. What are you grabbing for a
oh,
weapon?
I would probably pick peanut butter because it's so hard to clean up.
Oh wow. I'm glad I'm not that food fight. I'm not helping clean up. That would be a mess. Look at the spoon with the fling action with the
Like
peanut butter.
fling it, or I guess it'd be kind of hard to throw that, but I pick peanut butter.
If you were having the food fight with your family, who would be the first person you'd throw the peanut butter at? That's always a good one.
Oh man, my brother-in-law.
All right. That poor guy, man. All right. That poor guy. All right. That's Haley Moyers, our friend from ABC National. She's doing an amazing job. All of our friends at ABC National have been great. This has been the best so far. So setting the bar high, Haley, setting the bar high. We gotta get Mr. Sizemore in here. But I appreciate you finally giving in and succumbing to my
I've
onslaught.
always wanted to be on. I don't want you to think I
my
didn't.
God.
I didn't feel worthy of being on,
No,
to be
my
honest.
God. No,
I
you're
will
great.
come back anytime you want.
All right,
Please.
that's what we want to hear. See,
Yeah.
nobody else maybe seen National ever said that. I gotta. Patrick's
Any-
still mad because I beat him in bowling at the one conference. He's still mad at me for that. So
He's holding that grudge. He's
yeah,
got it.
yeah, but awesome. All right, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.